Special thanks to Creative Gaming with Maya for providing us with today's MSM Draw. Submit a drawing prompt with the hashtag MSM Draw in this video for a chance for it to be drawn in the next one. Welcome to Monster Biology Touchups, the first ever iteration of its kind. In this video, I talk about the biology of monsters that were released after the making of a monster biology video. For example, when I made my Grumpyre episode, the epic wasn't out yet. I got close with my prediction though, but now, since the epic Grumpyre is released, I'm able to talk about its biology and figure out the science behind its design, so let's jump right in. One of the most striking differences between the characteristics of the common and epic Grumpyre is the pasty white skin. As opposed to the common, which has large amounts of skin pigmentation called melanin, the epic has little to none, a genetic trait called albinism, where most parts of the organism appear white. A common myth is that people with albinism have red eyes, due to the blood vessels on the back of the eyes reflecting out through the iris. In reality, the eyes only appear to be red from certain angles. Most of the time, people with albinism have blue eyes, or varying degrees of brown or hazel, which is what we see the epic Grumpyre possessing. In addition, the veins of the epic can be viewed under its thin skin. Now we can move on to the smokescreen, or perhaps the lack thereof. Indeed, no soot-like shroud covers the body of the epic Grumpyre, instead leaving the monster under the full blaze of the sun. The lack of melanin in the epic's skin means that it is extremely susceptible to harmful radiation from the sun. Sunburn can bring about blisters, which we can see forming on the skin of the monster. It appears that the skin of the epic is extremely sensitive, as it takes mere moments for a blister to form, develop, and burst due to constant agitation. I reckon that this process makes the epic Grumpyre ill-tempered due to the continual irritation of its skin. A notable feature of this epic is the fact that it possesses remarkable healing abilities that rival the speed at which its blisters bubble up. This can simply be attributed to enhanced blood flow and nutrient distribution by means of a higher metabolism than normal. The bio indeed states that the epic ethereal enjoys late-night snacks, because it would heavily rely upon eating meals whenever it could. It needs the nutrients to keep up with its crazy fast regenerative metabolism. A higher metabolism means a quicker production rate of body cells. If the epic Grumpyre possesses many times that of normal immune cells, platelets, fibroblasts, and keratinocytes, cellular reconstruction can be achieved very quickly. I'm inclined to believe that the epic Grumpyre is a primarily cave-dwelling creature. The white skin and translucent wings, paired with the inability to cope with bright lights, alongside the large navigational ears and similarities to the vampire bat, indicate that this monster is built to live in darkness. The bio states that the epic Grumpyre can use its ears to navigate through the night and find food, something it would be too distracted by its skin to do during the day. In my Grumpyre episode, I proposed a dichotomy of the Grumpyre being a predator or prey animal. I explained the holes of the wings being either torn in a scuffle or misleading pockets of nanopillars that, although still a solid part of the wing's membrane, give the appearance of missing pieces in the wing. After consideration, I have to confirm that these spots are indeed false holes in the wings, due to the fact that they are all in identical spots in every Grumpyre iteration's wings, and totally not due to the fact that the game developers used the same wing texture for both sides. So yes, the wing spots are nanopillars, and the wings are healthy and intact. The last feature to talk about is the fact that the epic Grumpyre possesses a dislike of garlic. Putting aside the classic vampirical stereotypes for now, we should examine how this can scientifically be. Garlic is quite rich in fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols, otherwise known as FODMAPs for short. For some people, their stomachs and intestines cannot process these molecules well, and it inevitably leads to gastric distress followed by irritable bowel syndrome. It's hypothesized that individuals with sensitive digestive tracts cannot handle garlic without becoming sick to their stomach. So paired with the Epic's easily damaged skin, we can conclude that the Epic Grumpyre is a weak baby boy and must be protected at all costs. But what about the obvious vampire inspiration behind the dislike of garlic? Well, it turns out that one of the leading theories behind the vampire legend was derived from a disease called Porphyria, which caused its victims to develop pale skin, an aversion to light, and reduced gums that gave the appearance of fangs. Most interestingly, however, is the fact that a person infected with Porphyria develops a sensitivity to foods with a high sulfur content, which just so happens to include garlic. So it's quite interesting how real-world science played into the formation of the myth of the vampire. So there we go. Unless Big Blue Bubble adds a new monster category like Legendary, which I doubt, the Grumpyre line should be 100% complete. I know this episode was a little shorter than usual, but that's just because we already covered the basic functions of the Grumpyre in the previous video here. It's super great to get back into video making after an extended hiatus, so expect a great lineup of monster biology episodes very soon. You have been watching Cryptanium, and I will see you all later.